How's everybody doing? Well, it's Sunday, and it's Sunday evening, and today we're going to talk about Aquarius and Taurus. I don't think I know one couple personally that's Aquarius and Taurus. The man is a Taurus and the woman is Aquarius. And I've known them for quite some time now. And their example will be what I'm going to be talking today about. Because it is the typical archetype. Let me tell you, when you have fixed earth and fixed air, it's a square. It's an elemental square. Earth and air is a square, right? 90 degrees. So we already know that there's going to be conflict here off the bat. And then you have the modality. You have fixed and fixed. Fixed earth and fixed air. That right there is an opposition, which also comes as a negative aspect, or also a square. So not only is there an elemental square, there is also a modality square. In sacred geometry, this is considered conflicting or conflict. And because of that, we have to put it in the category of incompatibility of signs. So having said that, we're going to jump right in. And we're going to talk about the Aquarian female with the Taurus man. Understand that the Taurus man is earthy, sensual, slow moving, slow acting, slow reacting. He's delicious in the bedroom. Remember, the opposite sign of Taurus is Scorpio. So we don't even have to go into that discussion, these 25 minutes about sex in the bedroom with Taurus, because it is off the charts, like it is with Scorpio or Aquarius and Leo. Okay? And Aries. Ain't a pipe. So understand that in itself is not a problem. That will never be a problem. If anything, that might be the focal point to bring the relationship, reel it in. If it went off course, you can reel it in with the sex, which the Taurus man can provide. And the same way if it is the Aquarian man and the Taurus woman. For the Aquarian man to break away from the Taurus woman is almost impossible because the sex is too good. The food is just divine. That right there can give you multiple orgasms right there. Just on her food. Come on. We're talking about Taurus now. So there's no way escaping her earthly charm. And do you really want to escape her charm? You want to jump right in. Fuck dipping and doing it. Jump right in and swim in it. What? Come on. So if the Aquarian man finds himself pushing the Taurus woman away, understand that it's nothing personal to the Taurus woman. It's because it's so fucking good that the Aquarian man, remember, he wants to be free. He likes to be independent, to walk in and out. And in his mind, in his head, a relationship is a revolving door where he can go in and out as he pleases. Well, guess what? You may be able to get away with that if you're dealing with a Libra woman or with a Gemini woman. Hell, even an Aquarian woman. You cannot get away with it if you're dealing with a Taurus woman. She's earth. She's earthy. And Aquarius, don't forget, you have a great mind, but you still got a dick that is still earth and is still flesh and blood. And you got a stomach that loves good food, okay? So you can't escape the element of earth within you. And this woman, she will get you in that department. And then what are you going to do? Then what are you going to do? Because God forbid anything comes between you and your freedom. When you start dating a Taurus girl, Mr. Aquarius, you're going to find out very quickly that freedom is relative. It really is, Mr. Aquarius, or Mrs. Aquarius, if you're dealing with a Taurian man. But going back to the example of the Aquarian woman and the Taurus man, is that the things that bring them together is an interest in money, material comforts, and security. It's just as important to the Aquarian woman as it is to the Taurian man. The Taurus man is traditional. The Aquarian woman is not. The Aquarian woman has no problem going out and bringing the bread. And the Taurus man got no problem either with her going out to work and bringing in the bread. This is a common interest that they both share. And that in itself can make the relationship work, because there is a mutual concern and a mutual interest and a mutual proficiency to gather the coins. The problem with this combination becomes when you're dealing with situations outside the bedroom and outside concerns of finance. Sexually, they're all right. Financially, they're all right. Because they have, remember, Aquarius's classical co-ruler was Saturn. Before Uranus was discovered in 1748, I believe, Uranus was discovered. And it took officially the rulership of Aquarius. But before then, it was Saturn, the disciplinarian, cardinal Earth, ruler of Capricorn. That was the classical co-ruler of Aquarius. So, because it's ruled by an Earth planet, which is Saturn, and you're dealing with Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and it is an Earth sign, you can see why they will have a common interest. Like Libra and Capricorn, it's a marriage of convenience. Business. The same thing with this combination with Aquarius and Taurus. It is the same principle. So you will say that this can be a very workable relationship. The problem is, however, that when it comes to the daily vicissitudes of life, here, one of the two will run into a problem. One of the two will run into a problem. And guess which one it would be? It would be Miss Aquarius. Aquarius is mental, air, intellect. Taurus is slow moving, concerned with the mundane and establishing a routine. The Taurian, as well as the woman of the species, of the sign, they have a routine that they stick to. A routine that doesn't change much, and it can last a lifetime. And Aquarius, also being a fixed sign, will always want more than just being stuck in a particular paradigm. See, the fixity nature of Aquarius is in its established views of life. And she or he will live life according to the fixated views of philosophy that they've constructed for themselves. And you have to fit into their paradigm. They're not going to try to fit into yours, the Taurian. Even though it may seem from the outside looking in that this is a great couple and a couple that gets along well and do very well together, which they actually can succeed financially, economically, as far as building and coming together to build a common goal. Yes, this is true. But however, there could be a lot of adjustments and compromises that had to have been made behind the scenes that people in the outside will never know about. Because this combination really is a work in progress. It changes and it has to change, and it sometimes has to change dramatically and explosively. If Taurus, which is fixed Earth, stays into a rut where it doesn't evolve, then the Aquarius will have to do something to stir things up to get the Taurian to move towards an upward level of evolution where he was. Right? The Aquarian, looking at it from that point of view, can be too unstable, too erratic, eccentric, and completely out there. The only security for that type of woman or man spiraling out of control like that is that they have a Taurian that is keeping the home and the home front, down. He or she is holding it down, while Aquarius is out about doing what it's doing, or until it burns it out of him or her. And then they can coalesce and come back to a place of normalcy. Until then again, they spring forward and do something unpredictable again. This type of behavior is something that the Taurian man or woman will have to deal with when it comes to Aquarius. Aquarius can be very bored very easily and very restless very easily. And it's going to have differences of philosophy, including different friends that might bring over that may not even gel with the Taurian that's sitting at home, enjoying his own level and method of comfortability. That might not be awarded to him much longer, depending on the restlessness of his Aquarian spouse. Because Aquarius requires tremendous stimulation, tremendous exposition, and tremendous exposure to all kinds of people, all kinds of philosophies, and all kinds of ways of life and even thinking. This has to happen in his or her environment. And if it's not there, they are going to go out, step out, and look for it. So, and this can put Taurus into a mode of crisis. Because if Taurus might not see it coming, or if he sees it coming, he doesn't know how to stop it. The Taurian can withdraw in a moment of crisis. But it could happen the other way around. The Aquarian woman might also decide to terminate the relationship. It will be very difficult for the Taurian to terminate the relationship if he's unhappy. He might stay in a situation, or she might stay in a situation of pure unhappiness for years and years and years and years and endure. It's one of the basic positive traits of Taurus is to endure and endure in silence. Yeah. And if that's the case, then this relationship, especially if it's above 30 years old, This is one of those other combinations where there has to be plenty of maturity, and both people better be making good money, so that can be the least of their problems. The real issue with this combination is interpersonal communicating. The Taurian may not be too quick to open up, and the Aquarian woman is most certainly not going to even know what kind of range of feelings she has. And even if she does, it doesn't mean that she is ready to talk about them or expose them, even to her own husband. And that's deep. So, and that has nothing to do with the marriage or the partnership in itself, but it has a lot to do with the personal background and experiences of that Aquarian woman. And the same thing can be said of the Taurian. So then, in a situation like that, you ask yourself, who's the boss? Who's the boss? Is it the Aquarian woman or is it the Taurus man? In this instance, it will be the Taurus man. And you know why? Because that woman can be as eccentric as she wants, as erratic and unpredictable, as undomesticated as she wants to be. Go out and about with her girlfriends, because, friendships with the Aquarian woman or the man is extremely important. There are Aquarians that I know that I have left marriages because their spouses aren't right with their friends. Remember, Aquarius is the sign of friends, the global family, the global community. So if, as a Taurus man who may be traditional and clannish and territorial in the home where he's most exalted in, remember, the moon is exalted in Taurus. Okay? Domesticity. So he will be great here. And he might not appreciate his wife, Aquarian wife or girlfriend, bringing friends to disrupt his level of comfortability in his own home. He might be antisocial to her friends. Or she might be indifferent emotionally to how he feels about her friends and the friends that she brings over. Because that's the thing about Aquarius, is that they sometimes don't really stop and pause to think about how other people are feeling, and how their actions can affect the other person. And it's not that they do this deliberately. It's just that they're about fulfilling their own agenda, even within the context of the relationship. How do you handle that? So, with this combination, it is really important that you get to know each other as friends, and then it has to deliver from there. This relationship simmers. It really simmers. So that is exactly what is at the stake here. So if I have to ascribe it to nature, and ascribe to nature this combination of Taurus and Aquarius, it would be, what in nature can a fixed earth and fixed air? Let's say a volcano. A volcano spews magma, lava, which is fire, but it also throws plumes, ash, into the atmosphere, and it can stay up there for weeks, months, until it starts dropping down. That's fixed air. So when you have a volcanic eruption and plumes are out there, it's almost the plumes won't be there without the volcano. So without the combustion of the volcano, with the air and the fire to create the plume, it's not going to then occur without that final element. So we're talking about then a cooperation going on. For this relationship to succeed, there has to be a certain level of cooperation between Taurus and Aquarius. Okay? The Taurian will be most likely the one to suffer in silence, while the Aquarian may be verbal about how she feels. This can mark this is the trademark of arguments. Okay, so if these people can engage in intense arguments and frustration, because the Aquarian woman is going to want to communicate and discuss how she's feeling, while the Taurian, well aware of how he feels and how she may be feeling, may purposely not give her the validation of how she's feeling in order to teach her a lesson. Taurians tend to teach by example. They're not men or women of much words. I mean, the Taurian woman will be the exception. She most certainly can be. Not so much with the Taurian man. The Taurian man will be very inclined and prone to stay back and retreat. And when he does that, he's doesn't know quite how to rein in the Aquarian female. And when that happens, then that's when there's a disparity of